The weather's not miserable, you are. But for good reason this time. So for day 6, I'm going to head back inside so we can discuss what to do with all this anger. If some of your misery is connected to the fact that water companies have been dumping raw sewage into our rivers and seas for over a decade, fair. And if some of that misery and anger has been amplified off the back of watching Channel 4's Dirty Business this week,
You think that's poo? Of course, it's not poo.
also fair. If you've no idea what I'm talking about, here are a few stats that might get you up to speed. In 2024, we saw 3.6 million hours worth of raw sewage being discharged into our rivers and seas. That is the longest total duration on record, although we're not really sure how accurate these records are. That was over 450,000 spill events in 2024, slightly fewer than 2023, but they did last longer. And almost all of these spills will have been illegal. And that is because these storm overflows were meant as absolute worst case scenario emergency releases. They're now being used routinely because all of our sewage infrastructure here in the UK is outdated, overloaded, and in need of serious repairs. So basically, our sewage works just don't actually have the capacity to treat what they receive, which is always good. And the Surfers Against Sewage app and website has a live map where you can track current and recent spills. So I was today years old when I found out that my local sewage plant had discharged 2 hours and 45 minutes worth of sewage just this morning. So if you are angry, if you are miserable, I'm not going to encourage you to go for a walk this time, because I went for a walk yesterday right next to my river and it only made me more angry. But here are the things that we can do. We can sign the Surfers Against Sewage petition. That is calling for our government to end sewage pollution. We can download the Safer Seas and Rivers app to check live sewage alerts before you swim. And if you've ever been ill after swimming in the water, you can share your story with the hashtag #SickOfIt, because the more data we have, the more likely we are to see some sort of change. And you can email your local MP, because clearly clean rivers and clean seas have become a political issue. But if you haven't watched Dirty Business on Channel 4,
We can't treat sewage without any power. We're dumping it straight into the river.
that's also a pretty good place to start.